us. Week number
Week 3, what was it, 5?
five.
No,
They're going on
6.
5, going on 6 now.
Yeah,
Of the
5 going on
LCS.
6.
All right.
What's going on, everybody? So we're going to have some good stuff this week. Lots of upsets again, just like last week.
Lots of upsets.
Lots of upsets
Crazy
again.
week.
Make me keep looking stupid on my picks, but
Yes.
hey man, sometimes you have to pick what you got to pick.
Well, everybody's looking stupid because honestly, the actual Riot analysts are doing pretty bad too. So.
Oh yeah, probably still doing better than them.
Yeah. Anyway, we will get into this. So, last week's results. Anything surprising that jumps out to you besides the usual? I definitely was not expecting Clutch to beat TSM for the second time, and I don't think anybody was expecting Golden Guardians to
No, definitely not.
To beat Liquid.
I mean,
at all.
Liquid CLG, we knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Fox, 100 Thieves knew that was going to happen. C9 TSM showed a little bit, but C9 just outclassed them. Clutch against FlyQuest. I had picked FlyQuest there, I believe, but I take back everything I said good about FlyQuest last week because they let me down this week pretty badly against Clutch, but maybe that just goes more to say how good Clutch is doing, honestly, because Clutch is looking really good, and I thought Golden Guardians would beat Optic after their showing last week, but they lose to Optic and then end up beating Liquid, so it's like that's how NA LCS goes.
Yeah, I think that's the one game that we had contested. We didn't. I chose Clutch in that game, but it was a toss up either way because we just didn't know who was stronger coming off last week into this week and who would win that game. We also, I think we had that toss up on Golden Guardians. Although we knew Optic would win, we thought Golden Guardians could take that game.
Yeah. I thought, well, I think you picked Optic, right, on that one?
Yes, hold on, let me take a look.
You picked Optic over Golden Guardians because I picked the upset and you stayed with Optic.
Yeah, you picked Golden Guardians. I picked Optic. That was one of the ways that I'm beating you because I went Logic on that time and you went upset on that one.
Yeah, but it's a small upset. It's number 9 against 10. Like, Golden Guardians beat higher up and they showed really well against Echo Fox.
Yeah.
So I was assuming that they would do better.
Yeah, and then I want to talk about, like, while we're watching this highlight video, like, Matt, I was looking at him as, like, the worst player in the LCS. I had no clue why the hell he's still in the LCS, what the fuck he's doing. But
really?
During that Team Liquid game, he had some rather smart movements, or maybe it was just High saying, get the fuck in the way, like, stand in front of these ults. Or was it, do you think it was actually
That's possible.
That's a possibility. I feel like it was more High, just being like, you know what, you need to be here. Matt, go. Because I honestly did not think he was that good of a player, just from his previous showings and everything.
No, I thought Matt was good before, honestly. I thought he was not too bad of a player. Last season, even, I thought he was doing well, but he just hasn't shown up at the beginning of the season this season.
So, yeah, looking at last week's results, moving into the...
I had me 6 in a row wrong there.
Yeah, we started off the week happy. I remember texting you and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, we're 3-0 so far. We got this.
Those are easy ones to call though.
Yeah, those ones
are
really
first 3
easy.
were quite easy to call. Yeah. We both picked FlyQuest actually against Clutch, but that was FlyQuest. I thought they were up and coming. Clutch was just doing their same thing, and I thought with Fly and Anda coming in, they would do well. They tried out JJ for one game, and then I picked him on DraftKings for the next game, and they put Stunt back in because they lost that one. I hate that, but no, Clutch showed up. That they deserve to be in the top 4 for sure. Yeah. So I think Clutch did really well. Then we swapped on the Optic Golden Guardians. Mm-hmm. We both picked TSM, and looking back, like that was thinking TSM was up and coming because they were doing well the previous week and they were having good games, but
yeah,
Clutch just showed up and showed them up bad.
It was thinking that they would be improving because we had seen very much improvement over the past few weeks in TSM with their macro play and their coordination. Yes, they still have these weird mid games and late games about how they're going to finish the game out, but we thought, these are some really star players. They just need some cohesion, and basically I feel like they could have won that game if they played it the way that they should have. What happened? Your mic, there you go. Camera came back.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we moved into the second day, and we just dumpstered the second day. Both of us only getting one correct.
Yeah.
We definitely.
Yeah. And I wanted Optic to win. I actually wanted Optic to beat FlyQuest there because FlyQuest had let me down, and Optic was ahead in kills, but they were always like they had like 6 more kills, but they were down by like 6K gold, so they weren't. And then it was just one fight, Optic messing up and Fly. That game was down to the wire though. Optic was on their Nexus almost to nothing, and they win that fight and then go win the game,
really
right?
Crazy game. Yeah, it was.
Was that game or was that? No, that was a mid fight, right? What?
I can't remember. I didn't really get to watch most of the games this weekend, but I know that there was a very, very close game between Optic and Fly. I know that game went for a very long time.
100 Thieves beating CLG was pretty big too because I thought 100 Thieves was crashing, and CLG was crashing too. That was the game of the crashing teams, and it was hard to really pick one.
But I would expect 100 Thieves to win that
me.
Game. Yeah, I expected 100 Thieves to win that game because whoever's crashing the hardest, 100 Thieves still has more talent and more knowledge over the game with all their veterans than CLG
And then Echo Fox C9, I know your dreams were crushed.
So yours.
I remember just looking over at that game and it was like 16-6, and I was like, "Damn, Echo Fox smashed C9."
Yeah.
Not even
Speaking of, I got a new
game.
C9 shirt today. It's all nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Quit being such a big fanboy, bro. You pick them every week for every game.
I don't. I mean, so far I have.
You will.
But
you will.
In my picks for week 3, I did not pick them to win, but they 2-0'd week 3. So that was before the show started.
Yeah, but we weren't.
Yeah. But moving on. So I wanted to talk into the clutch. It's very surprising how they've made this giant climb to the top of the standings over the past couple weeks with all these wins. And this is
Clutch Gaming right here.
So this is Clutch Gaming.
Lira.
Last season, and all they did from a last place team or a bottom of the tier team last year, and all they did was change out their soda laners. We have that strong core with Lira, Apollo, and Hako, and I guess Clutch saw that they weren't really the problem.
They had somebody before Niski too. They had somebody else.
I can't remember. So
they had a different top and different. They tried out a couple people.
Yeah.
But yeah, switching in Fabivin, and I mean, so Fabivin's big because he is way outclassed Niski. But the thing is, Envy looked good a bunch of games last season too. They had I think they beat TSM when TSM was way on top, and they had a bunch of good games, but they just stayed on the bottom.
Yeah, they couldn't really get they couldn't get the wins that mattered. If that makes sense.
Solo finally gets a chance to shine, being on secondary teams all the time. You can see his history. That's a ridiculously long history for somebody where this is his first time actually
been
on
in
the stage.
Scene as long as Fabivin. And Fabivin did start on a challenger team at EU LCS, the very first EU challenger team Cloud9 made. I followed them, Cloud9 Eclipse, and I saw Fabivin from the beginning. I was like, wow, this guy's amazing. It upset me when he went. It upset me when he went to Fnatic, and I was like, oh.
I like Fnatic, so I was cool with that.
Back then, I hated Fnatic. They were like our cross Atlantic rivals. Fnatic shit. But
he did well. H2K was like a tier 3 team.
Yeah, but then
not tier 3, but third place team last year in EU.
Looking back,
they had a lot of good games.
Yeah, looking back at Solo though, he of course also was on a couple of those challenger C9 teams very early on. But you see some jumping around, and that time on Echo Fox, he was not a starter, but he was a backup. No. And then as well, he went to Team Liquid Academy, Team Liquid. He was then a sub as well. Then he went to the Challenger Series again. So he's just floating around in these Challenger teams. So obviously, he was good enough to stay in the Challenger scene because sometimes when you lose those, you just drop out forever. But he stayed there. He kept working from 2014. Finally, in 2017, he gets picked up, and in 2018, he hits the pro scene and started off rocky. But now we're starting to see that
they're looking good as a team.
He's getting good.
They're all looking pretty good, and
they have some really good cohesion.
We'll see who they play this week, but I'm probably picking Clutch Gaming for a lot of the games. But I just hope I'm not disappointed again. Just like FlyQuest picking them, they had a really good week, and you're like, oh man, they got Fly back, and is looking good, and then they lose one badly and then scrape by a win the next one. So they're not. And I mean, Clutch Gaming's stuff, they look dominant. I mean,
they look very dominant.
9-2, up 10, 15K gold. Like, they were working them. They were working them.
And this was the key play. I think the analysts and the casters called this out. But if you watch that play more closely, which you can find that on the LOL Esports YouTube, you can hear it too. But Solo actually calls out, "Hey, the Tristan is out. I can catch him. Go Trist, go Trist!" And he jumps and gets the perfect jump and the perfect negate on her ultimate to lock her down. And it was just it's showing that although he's a rookie into the scene, as we saw with his team history, he's not a rookie to play in the game. He understands how the game needs to be played.
Yeah, well, he's been a pro level player for the last 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, of course he's gonna be. He just has to get with the right team and get a chance to shine.
Yeah.
52 minutes for the longest game. 100 Thieves.
We said that was the crashing game. That was the crashing game, remember?
Longest game and the most kills.
Yep.
And then the shortest game, C9's. I mean, that's still not that short of a game, a 32-minute game.
Yeah.
Like the short ones are 25. Under 30 is a fast game.
Comparable to Team Liquid's game against Golden Guardians a couple weeks back, where they got them down, and that was it 26-30, something like that. But what we were just saying, the battle of the crashing teams ends up being the longest game and the most kills.
And that makes sense.
It does,
that definitely 100% makes sense. And then the one that I didn't pick out and I should have been able to call out because I was seeing him in solo queue quite a bit was that the Skarner pick, 100% pick or ban, and then 83% win rate. Like,
yeah, so he's been.
It was a sleeper pick the majority of the season. Now it's coming out to be an actual big pick.
So he popped up a little bit last week, and it's like, okay, he's good. And then a couple more games last week, and we're like, okay, is this really gonna be a thing? Turns out next week, week 5, 100% pick or ban. He's either first ban phase, or first pick.
Yep, and then only one loss too, which is really big. And I see the Gnar was 100% pick or ban, but he didn't have 50% win rate, and it's surprising to see him 100% pick or ban. But I just think in the meta he's a good blind pick top laner. He can go into any. There's not really a counter.
Yeah, he's good
for Gnar because he has the range and tankiness.
He's good into that GP, and right now GP's like the meta top laner.
But he was also 100% pick or ban,
and not in the top win percentage.
How many picks did he get? Just one.
But he's banned in every other game. But he was banned for 9 games. The only one pick he had was with Echo Fox versus C9, where Echo Fox won. But yeah, he was banned.
So he was one pick, and they lost with him. And then you have Zoe, who also
they won.
Is surprised.
Echo Fox won with GP against.
Then why isn't he on the highest win? Oh, 3+ games played. All right, never mind. Take it back.
Yeah, 3+ games. You have to get win percentage of 3+ games.
Zoe with the 100% pick or ban too, 66, so 2 out of the 3 games she played in, which is good. Braum picking up as one of the bigger. I thought you'd see more Tarek and Leona actually, but I think just his shield negating incoming attacks is too strong. Because I mean, Leona with the triple stun and Tarek with the stun and invulnerability, I think he'd be a higher pick as a tank support, but they really use the jump to people, get the Guardian proc, and block every incoming damage. So I think that's why you're seeing him a whole bunch.
Like Huni said even with Yasuo, that you have the walls in League of Legends are the most broken things because they can block anything, right? And you get the Braum wall can block almost everything, not quite as strong as the Yasuo wind wall, which we saw Yasuo for the first time this week in pro play. But with Ornn and you have even now Skarner and all these other picks, Braum just comes to the top line with all of his defenses he can give to his teammates around him as well.
Well, the thing is, if you have a strong enough team with Skarner, they were showing it like if you guys get a little bit ahead, Skarner just picks whoever. So Braum's in the front line, grab Braum, he's dead, he's not going to build a QSS, and then he's dead, and then you have a 5-on-4 with just the Skarner ult down, and then you're good.
Which we saw in the contracts game on Golden Guardians versus Team Liquid, where it's like, okay, you guys are running away.
That's exactly what they were talking
about. We'll grab Tarek, and now you guys don't have a stun or a front line, so.
Yeah. So the standings are moving to where we're kind of thinking everybody should have been. I think a couple weeks ago I was thinking Clutch might fall off a little bit, so that one is not where I was assuming. 100 Thieves actually stepped up and solidified a playoff 5th place spot right now, where we thought they were going to be moving down, but that's still yet to be seen. And FlyQuest we thought was going to get in there also, and they're sitting there over TSM because they have the win over them. The only thing I see that weren't expecting is TSM going solo. We thought we'd see
we
TSM
thought I'd see them rise above 100
in the
Thieves and
top
FlyQuest.
5,
Yeah,
top 4 at least. Yeah.
but
CLG we knew were dropping. Golden Guardians get 1 win back, and Optic Gaming, I was assuming that they would stay low. Also, I think you were thinking they might move up a little bit.
I was thinking maybe in the future weeks we see Optic take over CLG spot and move CLG down, because CLG looks like they're on this just descent that they just can't stop. And I don't see that they can stop it. I honestly don't know what's going wrong. I could say it's shot calling after they lost Afromu, but you've had time now. You guys should be giving information to each other. You should be figuring these things out.
They still have a really strong team, like just like TSM. TSM and CLG both have very strong players, and they have stronger players than a lot of these other teams, but like Clutch Gaming doesn't have the strongest players, but their team play is really good, and they're starting to stand out. And that's what usually happens is those people become household names instead of Bjergsen, Hanser, all that. You get Fabivin, who's already been up there, but then you get Lyra and Solo, and people start talking about them just kind of like Licorice with Cloud9 becoming that name to be way up there.
Yeah. So players of the week, things to look at. The biggest thing I saw was underneath the KDA. Of course, we've seen Alltech at the top of the KDA or kills for every week so far. But Clutch Gaming, coming up on the standings, and Hakuo, the support, and Apollo, the AD carry, have the second and third highest KDA in the game for last week.
Which makes sense. That makes sense for them to have that too. Just because how well they've been doing, crazy. And of course all the kills that Apollo gets, Hakuho is going to be on also, and then probably a couple extra ones.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. The highest kill participation is interesting because it's all FlyQuest, but it's based off of. So JJ only had the one game.
Wasn't there that game? Didn't we just see the replay of the FlyQuest versus Clutch last? Was it FlyQuest versus Clutch where they had 2 kills? So all they had to be a part of was 2 kills.
So Fly gets 2 kills and JJ gets 2 assists. So that's what I mean. So the stats a little bit. It's not like they did well. But this is for the whole week though. So Fly in the game that they won also had 100% kill participation. JJ wasn't in there, so I don't think JJ should be in that stat really because he got 2 assists in one game, you know. But Fly in the game that they won, where they had I think 8 kills, something like that, and 100% kill participation. Now that's big. So Fly is big for FlyQuest, and I think they will start doing a little bit better. This is only the second week that he's been in with them. So
just for you
they
guys,
might get together.
Just for you solo queue guys out there, to quote Medios on Twitter last week, he said, "Chicks really dig a guy with the high vision score. To check your vision score, scroll over your trinket, and at the bottom it'll tell you. Your vision score is based off of how many wards placed and destroyed throughout the map. Looking over, we can see that the highest vision score is Anda on Fly, and looking at that list, they're all junglers. So if you're a jungler, you should be placing and taking down wards as much as possible."
Well, that's a little. I don't agree with that for solo queue, because all these guys build. They build
the green smite,
and they build a vision item.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They probably either do. Well, there's no vision really items except for the support items, and that just doesn't help you as a jungler unless you're doing like an AP jungler and you're taking the Frostfang. But they probably build.
They still get the green.
They get the green.
Yeah.
But
they don't. So they don't pick a smite, and in solo queue, people are playing a lot more carries to be able to climb. So they are taking red and blue smite. So your vision score is obviously not going to be as high as the support on your team and stuff like that. You can still do better, and
it's a good thing to say. It's like you need to be placing wards and you need to be taking out wards as you see them as much as possible, because that'll help you win games. I honestly agree with that.
Maybe. Like I said, solo queue is a different beast, dude. Solo queue is a complete different beast than pro play. And if you look at any op.gg for if you look at any pro builds for any jungler, even all the pros in solo queue, red smite, blue smite, you'll see not very often where they pick the trinket and the warding.
But, so I'm gonna
no smite.
I'm gonna start with you on this one. So this is the power rankings per team as we see after week 5. This is basically right after
Look
the very
at this
first round robin.
Cloud9 fanboy over here.
No,
Echo Fox beats Cloud9 2 times,
I want you to
and
explain,
he still got Cloud9 number 1 in the power.
I want you to explain yours, and then I will explain why I have mine.
I just explained.
No, your whole list. Go through your list and tell me what
Echo Fox beats Cloud9 twice.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is basically almost how the standings are looking, except having people at the bottom because they haven't shown up. So Echo Fox and Cloud9 are 1 and 2. Echo Fox beats Cloud9 twice, so they're number 1 in the power rankings. Like, I understand that Cloud9 has had better looking games, but a win is a win. And then if you say Cloud9's more dominant, like we thought last week, but then Echo Fox still beats them, then they have the better team right now. One game, it's hard with a 1 game set too.
Yeah,
to really say that they're
what
better.
I was basing my game off of.
That's
not 1 game.
That's all we have to go on. They had 2 games and they lost both of them. The first game was really close, and then Echo Fox kind of smashed them. So if it was a 3-game set, they still beat them 2 out of 3.
My thing is, I looked at this as in how I think they're going to finish the split overall through playoffs and everything else. This is how I think it's going to look after the playoffs, after the spring split's over. This is it. So I looked at it as when it comes down to those best of 3s in the playoffs, Cloud9, I feel like honestly will take any best of 3 because of the way Reaper coaches and their macro play. If they make a mistake like they did in that 1 game, like, oh shit, I guess we really can't play Lucian into Huni. Damn. Well, why didn't I think of that? But come back, correct it. And Cloud9 has shown in the past they are very good at correcting their errors and starting over and beginning again. That's why I put them at the top, because this is how I see the split ending. Not necessarily right now, what it looks like right now, but how the split will look at the end.
Well, I'm looking at it, the strongest teams right now. So the power rankings are who's the best right now.
Okay.
So for me, Echo Fox is the best right now. And even with how I'm saying how they play, if they were to play, so if Echo Fox were to play any of these teams today, they beat these teams. Cloud9 were to play anybody except Echo Fox, they beat them. Same with everybody else going down is how I'm looking at it. Not how I'm not looking at power rankings as how they're going to finish. Power rankings are how they look right now. If they keep playing the way they are, that's how they're going to finish.
Okay.
So I'm looking at it kind of like that, and I think
Clutch over
it's possible that Cloud9's like that at the end, but that's something to look at the final power rankings, you know. And I don't know if Echo Fox is going to lose a game. I see them make little mistakes, but they still come back and end up winning the game. So moving further down, Clutch Gaming, I think, has solidified theirs with Team Liquid losing to Golden Guardians. I think Clutch Gaming moves up, and I think they're number 3 there. Team Liquid still looks good, even though they lost that.
Yeah.
And they still look better than the rest of the teams. TSM, I think just how strong their team is, and man, it's just hard to put TSM too low because of how good they look on paper. They still have a really strong team. I still think they have a chance to beat pretty much anybody, but they haven't shown it yet, so I can't do that. Golden Guardians, I don't know. I've just been a fan of Golden Guardians. I like their lineup. They beat Team Liquid. They didn't beat Optic, but they still had a good showing. Like, they didn't get smashed by him or anything like that.
I think that's like our biggest discrepancy is Golden Guardians right now. I still have them in 9th. I do think that they can beat 100 Thieves, but I'm not basing it off of they can beat 100 Thieves because their record is so detrimental right now that even if they beat 100 Thieves this next time, they're still down like 3 games. So
yeah, even our bottom 3, like 100 Thieves and like CLG, we both have CLG at the bottom. They're not the worst team, but they look like the worst team right now.
Yes.
So it's hard to have them any higher. And same with 100 Thieves. They're not the 9th worst team, but they look like the 9th worst team. They aren't up to the potential they were at the beginning of the season. And then I have FlyQuest in 8th because, like I said, they played with my emotions and made me think they were good. And then they go and lose to not the best team, and then they barely scrape out a win against Optic. I still have Optic is better than FlyQuest on here. Going into next week, I think they'll do better.
I mainly put FlyQuest as high as they did because I think they are, even though it might be a little bit more of a stagnated upwards trend, but I still think that they're going up. And comparably, TSM, 100 Thieves, CLG are going down. Optic is
So
staying stagnant. Golden Guardians is going up, but they don't really have a lot of room
So
to
the
go
question
up.
is, so the way your standings are, if Golden Guardians goes against FlyQuest, who do you pick? Do you think FlyQuest is going to win that?
Golden Guardians goes against FlyQuest. I'll take FlyQuest, yeah.
Yeah, see, I'd take Golden Guardians. That's why our things. That's why it looks this way.
That's
If
why
Optic plays Golden Guardians again, I'm assuming you're taking Optic also.
Yep, I'd take Optic.
But here's the hard part: we both have Golden Guardians over CLG.
Yes.
Do you think if Golden Guardians went against CLG, Golden Guardians win that game?
Right now, yeah, Golden Guardians is up. They got all the momentum.
Okay.
CLG's dying. They don't have any momentum.
I think it'd be a harder choice than them going against Fly or Optic.
I think it's cut and dry. I'm gonna say that and make everybody mad. It's cut and dry. CLG sucks.
They do suck right now. I would agree, 100%.
All right, so prediction records. This is our week 4 records This is what we predicted on week 4. I'm just bringing this up because I wanted to go over where we are right now in our head-to-head matchup. As of week 4, I beat out Kevin for one time, going 5-10. He went 4-10 out of our picks from week 4, giving me a solid 50%, and Kevin Deadly had 40%. Oh, sorry. Moving on.
40% both times because my boy didn't pick the upsets like I did. Piece of shit.
Moving on to week 5, though.
Sorry. So, all right, let's get these picks.
We did already show this out, but it's the same. 5/10, 50%. You know, I'm always good on half the games.
I see. Let's see. I'll call. Let me. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's a bunch of rough ones here, and we'll get to those though. So,
but if you did want to check out my full LCS split, I do have them on Reddit, on the Reddit page linked at the bottom. You can find all of them from weeks 1 through 3, and then 4 and 5 have been here on the Perspective, and 6 about to be. But so far throughout the split, I'm at 56%, which puts me 2% behind Jat and 2% above Mark on the actual LCS analyst desk. So I'm holding it with everybody else. I'm just that good. But
you got week 5 schedule on this, homie.
Week 5 schedule going on.
You mean week 6?
Yeah. Does that say week 5? It does. Fuck. All right.
You're gonna have to change it. It's all good.
Anyway,
so
week 6 schedule.
First game's pretty easy. We're both picking C9. You can just jot that one down.
We'll say that. All right, C9.
I think this would be the game for 100 Thieves to show up and show that they are still deserving of that 5-5 record. If they can beat C9, that'll be.
I think
that'll make me talk completely different about 100 Thieves if they end up beating C9 there. But
I think that's asking for too much. Though. I think I just want them to show that they're not trash.
Even if they played well with C9 and lost, we'd still call them trash. It wouldn't matter.
That's true.
If it was a close game and they lost, we'd be like, all right, they're still trash.
So moving down, I'm taking Clutch. I don't know about you, but
I'll be taking Clutch. I mean, I don't think we're gonna pick CLG today because they look like such garbage. But like I said, there are some tough ones. And then, so the next one is just like last week, C9 against TSM. We got Echo Fox against TSM this time. Is this the one where TSM will break out and show what's up? They have the potential.
I'd love to say so. Because
can we
bring Echo Fox down?
Yes, I'll be picking Echo Fox as well.
But, yeah.
And here's where we will split.
Fox.
Right here.
No, I'll take Fox. I'm taking Fox. Or are you talking about the next game?
The next one. We're both taking Fox, but the next game, we're splitting.
Optic.
We just talked about it. If Optic goes against Golden Guardians, who do you pick?
Optic.
I pick Golden Guardians. Let's go. They just came off a win against TL. TL is a much better team than Optic. Golden Guardians,
but
lock it in.
That could be attributed to
beating Optic this week.
They said on the cast as well. But as a higher seeded team like Team Liquid, you're going to this game like, oh man, they're only like 1-7 or something like that. So even though you don't want to think that way, you're ingrained as a human to think, oh man, they're trash team, so I can take it easy. Oh wait, hold on, they're destroying us.
It's always in the back of your head. Even I'd say it goes with any sport. That's why you see teams, baseball, basketball, football, usually when they're one of the best teams, they lose to a team with a losing record. If you look at the teams that are the best, their losses usually came to teams with losing records. Golden State Warriors have lost to the Nuggets like the last 3 years. The year they only had, 10 losses? One of the losses was to the Nuggets, who are under 500. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's just the mentality like, oh, we're gonna go stomp these guys, and they're not thinking. They'd never say that. They'd never say, no, we take everybody seriously. Like, they're professionals. We take them seriously. But in the back of your head, you're like, this should be an easy game.
Easy
and
game,
then
you mean,
you
like
just,
easy life,
it's subconscious. It's subconscious. You just think of it, like, go into it and you play more relaxed, and it just then you start panicking. You saw the panic in the TL game.
Oh God, yeah.
Golden Guardians start winning, and then they get that one fight, and they're like, yeah, we're back in it, and then go take another fight and get smashed, and that then it went back. But I think that gives Golden Guardians a lot of confidence. I think Optic's up there too. I think it'll be a close game if anything, but Golden Guardians for me, Optic for you. There's our one swap, and that'll probably be why I go 4 for 10 again.
Liquid into Fly.
See, this is a rough one too.
Because Liquid didn't look too good in that
Liquid looked bad against Golden Guardians, and then they did not look great in their other game either.
No. So will you take FlyQuest?
Didn't look great in either of their games. So
will you take FlyQuest like you did last week and trust them, or are you gonna go with the probably the higher win percentage?
We're going with Liquid on that one.
Going with Liquid.
We're going with Liquid.
I'll have to take Liquid too, just because I feel like the bot lane will win.
Of course you do.
Top lane will win too.
He's too big of a pussy to take a real upset. Look at him.
Well, now that I'm winning, I gotta maintain.
Yeah. Well, here's your chance. Here's your chance to take the upset. Optic against TSM.
Oh, Optic.
So Optic. So you are taking the upset.
Just because I think if TSM loses to Echo Fox, which they probably will prepare for the most, and TSM has been known to be a very linear team. They only prepare for one team. They don't give a fuck about the second team, and if they do, it's very little. So TSM takes Echo Fox. They lose Echo Fox. They're heartbroken. Now they're dumpster team, like they have been for the past few weeks. They don't muster up the courage. Optic's like, okay, all right, we just beat Golden Guardians. Let's get up there. We're gonna take TSM's spot and bring them down. Bam! Optic beats TSM. Now they're tied, and bam.
All right, I'm going for TSM, and I think TSM might actually beat Fox up there, but probably not. But they're taking this game. TSM over Optic.
TSM over Optic. I got Optic. You got TSM moving down to the next game. Fly 100 Thieves. This is that battle of the middle bracket.
There's a rough one too.
Battle of the middle bracket. Is 100 Thieves coming up enough to actually prove that they can win? Is Fly still what we thought they were last week and good enough to beat the middle tier teams, or is it just going to be like a filibuster and it's going to be that 52-minute
I don't know. They're both going against strong teams before that, so Liquid is probably going to beat Fly, and C9 will probably beat 100 Thieves, so they'll both be coming off a loss.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fly can win mid lane there. The bottom lane, it's gonna be a close game. That's one where you think Fly's gonna win, and then 100 Thieves is like, hey, remember we're 5-5 and we actually did good at the beginning, so they might win that.
Yeah.
So that is a difficult one to pick. I don't know. You tell me who you're going with. We'll base it off of that.
I'm gonna say Fly. I think you had Fly up higher, and I had Fly higher than 100 Thieves.
We both had Fly higher, but we also both had TSM higher than Optic, but you picked Optic anyway.
Yeah, I feel like TSM wants to if TSM makes it into playoffs, which I think they will have a better showing in best of threes, and eventually,
Yeah,
opt
that's
out.
true.
So, or not opt
So you're
out,
going with Fly.
Yeah, I'll go with Fly on that game.
Man, this is a really rough one.
Yeah, it's hard. But this is the fun part. You get to actually think about here we go. Okay. In your brain, help you out. In what ways does Fly win? In what ways does Fly lose? And vice versa, what ways does 100 Thieves win versus 100 Thieves losing? What are their win and loss conditions, shall I say?
They're both I don't know. FlyQuest played really good macro last game. Like I said, losing in kills. That's a sign of a good team, I think, is being down in kills but up in gold. But they also did that against Optic, who isn't an amazing team, and they still barely held on.
Yeah.
100 Thieves is more of a play from a head team. So can they get far ahead of Fly is the question.
I feel like if the game stalls, and if they're going even for most of the game, which they probably will be, because they're both going to be scared coming off that loss, they really want to get a win, they want to play safe. I feel like Fly wins the game if it stalls, But it also
See, I
depends
think Hunter
on.
Thieves wins the game if it stalls.
Well, I mean, also would depend on the pick and ban and what their team comps are.
That's a rough one. I'm gonna go with FlyQuest there too.
Okay.
Just because I can't let you get one on me on something like that. So if we both lose, then we're just even.
All right, Echo Fox, Team Liquid.
That's another really hard one.
I think who did Echo Fox? Echo Fox lost to 100 Thieves, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Echo Fox. Let me check this. Yes, Echo Fox lost to 100 Thieves. They beat TL last time, but we did think that was the second day. Team Liquid versus Echo Fox.
I think Liquid has a good chance, but just with how dominant Echo Fox has been, I have to take Echo Fox there.
Yeah, I will say that
Echo Fox have been winning too many. This is a game I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid won.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if Liquid won. So
I'm gonna take Fox.
But I'm still gonna go with Fox.
I'm gonna take Fox too. But after Fox beat C9, this is probably the most likely game where I see Echo Fox
for
losing.
them. Well, I don't know. The TSM one also is gonna be.
But
you just can't ever count TSM out.
But you have to agree that out of 2 games this week, you would expect Team Liquid to beat Echo Fox more than you would expect TSM right now. So I'd say
definitely.
Out of the next Echo few weeks, you would expect
it's
Echo Fox
possible
to lose this
Echo
game.
Fox comes out of this week with 2 more losses. It's possible.
That's true.
Because if they lose to TSM, they might crumble against Liquid because they haven't lost very much. But we will see how that one works out. And then the next one is another tough match, but you already told me what you were going to do.
We both have CLG at the bottom. Like, they're on this downward trend. Golden Guardians is going to be hungry again for that win. And, yeah, especially if they win. If 100 Thieves loses, they're going to be hungry. And if they win, they're going to be like, yeah, this is our time to shine.
I mean, this is the time for Golden Guardians to come out with 2 wins. I mean, last week was their time to come out with a win and a loss. They lost to the team they should have beat, and then they beat the team they should have lost to. But this week, I feel like they have a very good chance of winning both and moving up in the standings couple spots there.
We are in agreement?
Picking Golden Guardians on there. This is one that we might both lose. This is one, I don't know if the analysts are going to pick Golden Guardians at all.
I don't think so either. I
Even
think
over Optic and CLG, I think they'll pick those 2.
But Kevin, this is why we're better than them. It's because
until we're wrong. But we'll see. And this is the matchup that's probably the hardest because we've been really on Clutch about doing really well, but then they have to go against if Clutch went against anybody else other than C9 and Fox, I'd be picking Clutch. But going with C9 still, Clutch is coming up. C9's coming off the loss to Echo Fox. I think they're going to try to smash through this week and come back strong. Last game of the day. Actually, I don't know if it's the last game of the day, if this is exactly where it's scheduled.
Last week, for some reason, Riot switched up the schedule because what we had on Leaguepedia was different, and we still have it different, but they switched it up. I guess now that it's mid-season, they're seeing power rankings. They wanted it to be more interesting, so they put the more interesting games in different spots. But I did fix it. I fixed it on the website as well, so it should be updated to be the exactly correct schedule. But the reason why I pointed at this game, not only because it's the last game of the day, but right now, both of these teams sit solid in 2nd and 3rd place with no ties or contenders for their positions. Their lineups and their matchups match they almost match like this because you got that kind of rookie, which Liquid I'd say is more of a rookie than Solo, but that rookie to NA LCS in the top lane.
Yeah.
That seasoned kind of veteran jungler who's had their experience in other leagues in the top or in the jungle. Fabivin and Jensen both came from EU. Jensen started off his pro scene in NA though because of his toxicity, but Fabivin did go to EU. But both EU mid laners go down to Sneaky. Sneaky's very consistent. Apollo's very breakout, and he has very good team fighting in late game shows. But Sneaky's never been really good in lane. Neither is Apollo. Hako and Smoothie you can argue to be the best supports right now because they have the best playmaking abilities.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, this could actually be a really good game. Even though you think Cloud9 should win.
It should be a really good game. I still give it to C9.
Yeah,
but
there's more seasoned
this is the most likely.
Together longer.
This is the most likely upset, if you can call it an upset. I mean, the number 3 team
Well, I mean,
and number 2
technically
seed.
they are
Not
lower
much of
seeds, so
one.
you would think they would be an upset if they beat the second seed team because of the seeding at that point. But you're right. This is the most likely one to happen based on what we've seen over the past couple weeks, especially with CG. I think would they have a 4-0 past 2 weeks?
Yeah, they're looking really strong, but they also haven't played Cloud9, and you don't know the difference in pressure that Jensen can put on Fabivin over the other people that have played against Fabivin, and just how their styles will go together. Cloud9 might run away with it, but I'm assuming we're both going with Cloud9.
Yeah.
Because you're a Cloud9 fanboy, you're not going to pick anybody else.
Yeah,
and
Cloud9 fanboy over here.
I'd like to pick them over, but looking at it objectively, still.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we both pick Wow, I'm terrible at talking. Cloud9. Moving on to the very next one. So this is moving into the actual LC or solo queue League of Legends patch. There's a new champion reveal. The reason why I really like this, I wanted to talk with you about it, Kevin, is because it looks like an Evelyn. You talked about how you wanted it.
Looks like a ranged
Evelyn. A ranged Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Because she goes invisible.
So yeah, see, I was thinking that she was more of a mid 80 carry, but her AP ratios and the different skills you don't want to jump in as. I think she can be played mid, and you might end up seeing her mid more than jungle.
Yeah.
Just because how her skill set is, it depends on how her clear will be. Because it doesn't look like this skill right here that
helps.
You're not going to use that in the jungle. You know what I mean? Like, that is not a skill that is useful for clearing any camps whatsoever.
Could you see her in top lane though?
It'd be like a Quinn or Lucian top lane. Like, it wouldn't be the best to do just because you're not going to get tanky at all, and you're going to get blown up pretty quickly. She doesn't have any hard CC, I don't think.
No, she doesn't.
So, I mean, that's the difficult thing for a jungler, too. It's going to be more like a Kindred jungle with no CC but a lot of damage. So, yeah. That's the thing with Evelyn. She still has the CC gap close. I mean, a good jungler still has gap close.
Yeah, and she has a crazy amount of gap close. You'll see how long this distance can be that she can close this gap.
The ult can close big, and she puts out a lot of damage coming in. She's gonna be high skill gap for sure, and think mainly seen in jungle, possibly mid. But
possibly, yeah.
It'd be hard. Like I said, it's gonna be a hard champion to play because you're gonna go through a lot of dying before figuring out the best way to play her, and like every new champion, probably gonna be banned every day for the first week and a half because you don't want your teammates playing her because she's bad, and you don't want the other team playing her in case they're good at her and she's OP. Mm-hmm. So that's always with the new champion. So it's been hard to get excited for new champions. But I'll probably see her, get dumpstered by her, and then start playing her. That's probably how it'll go.
Yep. All right, moving on to our fantasy LCS picks. So this is a graphic. I only pulled up top 10 this time, but it's interesting to know they had originally the top 4 were all
the top 5 were all Echo Fox.
Well, no, the top 4 were all Echo Fox, and then Jensen was just out in 5th. But then Jensen has
Adrian was 5th last week. Adrian was 5th last week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The top 5 were all Echo Fox.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jensen has moved up in the total points.
Mm-hmm.
We still got G2 in here. Perks and Reckless are still there, but still a lot of 80 carry. But the fact that Echo Fox still has 5 of their players in the top 10,
yeah,
they just keep scoring points.
They're consistently up there
scoring.
Like, even with the Cloud9 game that they had this week, they not only won the game controlling, whereas I feel like if it was Cloud9 winning, it'd be controlled. There wouldn't have been as many kills, but there'd been more macro play, more control over the map, more objectives. Whereas Echo Fox is like, we're winning, we're just going to shove this in your face and keep killing you, and we're going to ram down a lane. Yeah. So that's how they get more points.
But yeah, I'd say still this week, you want to pick Echo Fox if you can. You can start some Golden Guardians because they're going to have a couple close games where they're going to get some good kills. High's always a good pick because of the kill participation if their kills go higher. But again, you see him at the most deaths. Don't pick Mike Young. Even if they win, he's not going to have a lot to do with it, I don't think.
Yeah.
And if he does, he's going to die a bunch. Keep picking Adrian. Like I said, all of Echo Fox, because their assists and kills are off the charts. Team Liquid, everybody on Team Liquid pretty much is a really good pick to get some more fantasy points, and they have a couple games that they'll probably win, and even the game they lose, they'll still score quite a few points, thinking that Liquid loses to Fox, it should be a closer game, so they should still score decent. But usually you want to pick the teams that are planning on winning 2 games. So you want some Cloud9 in there, because even against Clutch, it'd still be a high-scoring game. So C9 members are going to be ones you want to pick for sure. Clutch Gaming, you're going to want to pick up some people there. FlyQuest, you might want to drop a couple of your FlyQuest people because they play Liquid in 100 Thieves and they might not score too much. Drop a couple TSMs because playing against Echo Fox, they might just get stomped out. Bjergsen's still always a good pick. He always has low deaths and high kill participation. But if they don't get a lot of kills, then he still scores not too many points. I wouldn't pick anybody up from CLG. Drop CLG off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Optic Gaming, pick up my man Power of Evil from Optic, because even in losses he scores a lot of points, and if they win big on Power of Evil kills, assists, huge.
So moving on.
So those are the teams I'd pick up and drop for
this is
Fantasy League.
We started this little new segment at the end when we do our fantasy picks, but decided to make a player power rankings for what we thought.
Yes.
And I wanted to just go through and kind of, this is my power rankings. I'm just going to explain kind of why I had this. Huni, we can see, I have him at top just because I feel like his showing has been too dominant in top lane. Even in the games that he has lost, he's still dominating. In the games where they win, all of them, even though he may not win his lane, he still somehow affects the team fighting late. He has a way of being able to overtake that advantage the other team has in his lane and just say, you know what, you didn't shove me out enough. I can still affect this game. Dardoch has been a part of that. How we saw in the Cloud9 game, Dardoch really helped Huni jump in front of Licorice in that game, despite all of Svenskaren's help in the jungle in his attempt to be topside. And moving down to Jensen, I just feel like he's one of the most consistent mid laners right now, especially with Bjergsen falling off, who was the only other person you could put in contention with him. He's too dominating, whether he's winning lane in gold per minute, gold at 10, minion score at 10, his map play, his team fighting is the biggest thing, is one of the things he's been shown for, is because his positioning is always very well positioned. He doesn't really put himself in the risky positions, but he always knows when to go in to get the correct kills. Altec, again, another player hitting my top 5 from Echo Fox, but it might just be because Echo Fox has been so good that he looks so good, but he also has had very good showings in all of his 80 carries he's played. He's very good minion score, and basically his 80 dealt, which we saw in a lot of other things, even him being the top scorer in fantasy right now as well, shows you that although, yes, it may be his team making him look good, he knows how to play when they make him look good too. Yeah. Smoothie has had, I feel like this split, the most impactful plays as a support set I've seen so far. This used to be Afro last split, in splits prior, where you would see him making these plays to turn the team fight, to start the team fight, to make the game flip. Didn't really happen on Sunday, but he's still one of the best, I think. Licorice I have in the second for top lane, mainly because although he is a rookie and he did not show very well yesterday against Huni, and he's had some problems up against other of these top tier top laners that we have in the NA LCS, he's really shown that he's okay win those matchups. And even though Cloud9 favors him and gives him these things for him to win, he knows how to use them to win. It's not enough to say, okay, we're giving you all these tools that you should win, but being able to make that should into it is me winning is hard, because you could still dumpster and lose in those winning lanes, which we saw happen versus Huni. And if I wanted to talk about something that was a little bit crazy, I guess Stixay, I put him at the bottom for the 80 carries, mainly because I'm just not seeing the same Stixay I saw last year. I'm seeing the Stixay from 2016, not the 2017 Stixay last year that was amazing. The shitty Stixay from 2016 that had a lot of problems.
Even when Stixay was playing really well, I would only put him really above Arrow and Deftly and maybe Wild Turtle. Okay. I still think everybody else on the list is a better 80 carry at the top of his game, and how Altec and Apollo played last season, Stixay might be ahead of them, but not the way those two are playing this season.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I put him at the bottom also.
This is my player tier ranking was mainly based on the points that they've had in fantasy so far, but as well seeing their actual player and skill matchup. Although I feel like Haunter has a higher skill, I don't feel like he's playing as good as Licorice right now. Solo is really knowledgeable, and we can see that he's very good, but he has just not shown the skill that Haunter has to the same extent that we've seen even in this split. Impact has been falling down. I really don't know how to explain it, but he's been falling down. Flame and Someday, although we're talked about to be like, oh, these Korean top laners, they're going to be at the top, haven't really showed up. Lorelo, same thing. He's just now starting to show up, so I didn't really want to put him too far ahead of the other teams.
It's funny how we take all the Korean top laners. There's like 10 Koreans in the entire thing, and 6 of them are top lane.
Yeah, we have all the Korean top laners, EU mid laners, Canadian supports, you name it. But moving on, we're going to move into yours, and you can give a little explanation.
I had a lot of the same top picks, so Huni, Dardoch, and Jensen. Huni has definitely been very impactful, and I think he beats 1v1 pretty much everybody else on the list. That's why he's up there. Dardoch, he might not be the best jungler skill-wise and everything like that, but he has the most impact in the games, which I guess makes you one of the best junglers, but he's had so much impact assist-wise, vision-wise, all that stuff to put him at the top of the list. Jensen, same, really impactful. I think Sneaky is also up on there. I put Altec lower because I think his support helps him a lot, and the team around him is why he's shining as well. Because it's hard to say, like, if you put Sneaky in Altec's, but well, Sneaky's already on one of the better teams. But if you take somebody like Cody Sun and put him in Altec's position,
would he still shine?
Is he as successful? Probably. Yeah. Same with Apollo. If he's on Echo Fox instead of Altec, is he as impactful? Probably. Now it's hypothetical, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I put Adrian number 1 support. I think Smoothie does well, but Adrian is way higher up on the assists, and that might be speaking to how
they have a lot of kills in their games. Yeah, they have a lot of kills in their games. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen Adrian make like the game-changing play like I've seen Smoothie though, which is why I put him.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to make the game-changing plays. He's more of a support, where he's actually supporting his team, getting those assists, and getting his team ahead to where they just take over. It's not they haven't had to be in a position where like, oh my god, you got to make this play so we can win the game. It's more like we're winning the entire game and now we keep going.
Okay.
So it's not. I don't think it's necessary for how Adrian plays and the champions he plays. Then I got Ale up there also in front of Smoothie. Still Licorice in second. I think Impact is better. Haunter's fallen way down on my list because I don't think he's been playing that well. Darshan used to be really good. He fell way down. Solo's further down on my list than yours because I think they're just showing up, so I can't put them too high yet.
Yeah.
I got Lorlo a lot higher there because Lorlo has been the reason that they've won games or been in games. Even when he gets far behind, he's still usually the reason that they are coming back and getting in a game. Another difference, I got Power of Evil way up there because I've always thought he's been really good even in EU, and Bjergsen's lower because he's been falling off. I got Pobelter Bivin up there.
Of course, yeah, I completely agree with that. I might have mine I think mine are switched. I think they're the same.
One further down, you have Phoenix as second.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Phoenix. I think Phoenix again. I think the team play of Echo Fox has made him shine a little bit more, but I have him lower skill wise than the other people because, like I said, Bjergsen, even in losses, he's still doing well.
Yeah.
I think if you put Bjergsen on Echo Fox or Cloud9, they might win more.
Yeah, but I don't think Bjergsen's playstyle matches with Echo Fox.
Maybe not in front of Jensen. Maybe not in front of Jensen, but definitely in front of Phoenix. And
So,
same with Power of Evil. You plug Power of Evil into Echo Fox, they do
so
well also.
One thing that we do have the same, we both have Mike Young at the bottom of the jungler list. Explain that one.
Horrible. He's probably one of the main reasons that TSM isn't winning. He's not impactful.
He's not impactful. He's not doing anything.
If you plug Dardoch in to TSM, they might only have 1 or 2 losses.
You put Lyra. You can put Lyra in there, or even Reignover. Yeah. Maybe even Meteos, and I would say TSM's
our bottom line is pretty much the same. I put Lemon above Stunt because I think Lemon's more impactful. They already took Stunt out once to try somebody else.
They tried JJ, yeah.
Yeah, and then put Stunt back in, and Lemon is a better shot caller. If we were to go by shot calling, though, High would be much higher up on the mid list, but I'm going by mid skill. High would be number 5 or 6 with the impact he has with the shot calling. I got Acadian contracts higher up. I always liked those 2 as rookies last year, and I think they're still impactful. You got Meteos closer to the bottom. I got him a little bit higher. Anda's close to the bottom because they swapped him out too.
I think we literally just have Anda and Meteos switched. I think that's about it.
I think he's all right. We'll have to see how Fly does later.
Yeah. So Zig,
but yeah, Mike Young deserves to be at the bottom. Zig isn't bad.
He's
just never popped out at me.
He's never good though.
I've never seen him like, oh man, they won that game because of Zig. I've seen it from Flame someday. I've seen it from every other top laner. Like, oh man, they won that game because of that person.
Yep.
I've never thought Zig won that game for them, or it was really impactful. And I got Sven way down on the list too, and Cody's son higher because I think Cody's son's a really good.
Sven and AD carries Sven. That's the biggest thing. We have Sven and then Sven Skaren, and then we have X-Mithy and Mithy. It's just this weird.
The thing with Deftly too, he'd be higher up on the list, but just how bad Golden Guardians have been doing. But usually when they're coming, he's kind of like Lorlo too. When they're doing well,
he's the one doing it.
It's a lot on him.
Yeah, because
it's a lot on him.
We saw it.
Is that Matt and Lorlo helping him out, and he's just the AD carry shooting stuff?
It has to be.
Or is he positioning properly and doing everything right?
We even said, well, I mean, it's a little bit of both, because I think we saw it. Was it with the Varus game that he played that they won last week, or was it this week? I can't remember, but he was basically just dishing out consistent damage, which Varus actually. Hold on, before I say any more, I may make sure that was a Varus game.
That he was playing Varus, yeah.
But it might have been. Let's see, what was last week? Was week 4. Which game did Golden Guardians win? They beat 100 Thieves, right? Yes.
Wait, what? No.
Or are we on week 5?
They didn't beat Golden Guardians. They beat Team Liquid.
Oh God! Why?
They beat Datiela.
Who had the Varus game? All right. Anyway, I don't think it was definitely who had the Varus game, but either way, it's kind of the same thing as what I was saying though. But in the Varus game, if I figure out which one I was talking about, basically being able to have that front line so that a big damage dealer like Varus, who doesn't really have a lot of gap making or escapes, giving him the position to sit back and farm, basically farm champions and dish out his damages.
Playing. No, I was watching LCK last night, so I mixed that up too. Was it? Yeah, I don't know. A lot of Varus games. People have been playing the shit out of Varus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People have been playing, the shit ton out of Varus. But anyway, it's basically that positioning. But I do agree that you need Hakuo, or you need your support in your top laner to give you the ability to have the correct position. You can have the correct position all you want, but then you're not in the team fight. The only way to get closer to the team fight to give your damage is to have somebody in the front. So.
Yeah.
But
you can see the people who stand out. In here, right? Like I said, Bjergsen always stands out for me in Power of Evil because the games they lose, they still have like 0 deaths at the end, or maybe 1, and they're still trying, and like they're playing around the mid lane because they don't want to make them impactful at all. Somebody like Dardoch stands out because he's giving so many kills over and helping out. Same with Adrian, and the AD carry spot is the hardest to see stand out, because usually if they're winning fights, it's because the support made a good play or the jungle ganked or top teleported down, and you're like, who's really a standout AD carry? Because they're all good if they're fed and their team is doing well, but which ones are actually the cause of them winning lane? Because usually the lane goes 0-0 until a gank happens or a teleport happens.
It's not like it's not like Uzi 2014 Worlds where you're down in the game, then somehow in the jungle you get a triple kill on a Vayne jumping around, and it's like, well, he literally just outplayed all three of them.
Yeah. So. It's hard to say with AD carries to stand out, and jungle is a little bit easier because they're pathing in the way they do everything. Same with top and mid. You can see them win their lane without any other pressure and just winning fights, exchanges, all that stuff. But AD carry and supports, you see them roam and support other people. AD carry is just a hard role to be like, okay, which one of them is the best?
All right, so
is Altec actually better than everybody, or is his team better? Is Sneaky double lift? Are they actually really, really good AD carries? Or could you plug any of these other AD carries in these top teams and they do just as well? It's just hard with that role.
Real quick, to close out the stream here, who do you think, or basically give me your starting lineup for DraftKings Fantasy LCS. What is your lineup?
For DraftKings?
Yeah, where you can only pick one.
DraftKings works a lot differently because you have a limited amount
of money
you can spend on it, so you can't pick all the best people. Doesn't work out like that.
All right, to give me your
depends on who they're playing.
Give me your fantasy LCS. If you had all these players that you could, give me your starting roster.
For straight up fantasy,
yeah,
we'd go. Let's see. We do Huni in the top lane right now.
It's kind
probably just
their player rankings, right? Basically.
Probably just straight up Echo Fox. If I wanted Echo Fox, and then Echo Fox is the team, and then for a flex pick, I'd get probably Poe Belter as a flex pick, or Power of Evil. Because like I said, this week may be a little bit different because Optic might lose both their games, but I mean, all Echo Fox because they have high-scoring games, they have fast games, and bloody games.
Yeah.
So they just score the most fantasy points, so it's hard to pick anybody else other than them. If I wanted to go different, like without them, Lorlo this week should do well, DraftKings-wise. Jungle, you're going to see...
I'd say Smithy or Sven.
I'd say Lyra's gonna do well, and Dardoch.
Dardoch's Echo Fox.
Yeah, Lyra and Sven. Yeah. Mid, like I said, Bjergsen always scores a good amount of points. Poe Belter, Power of Evil.
I'd put Fabiven. After Fabiven's performance in the past couple games on Clutch, I'd put him up.
Yeah, but Fabiven's going against Jensen on C9, so it'd be hard to pick him for fantasy because he might get dumpstered completely.
And he's going up against
just not score a lot. Power of Evil and Poe Belter will probably score more this week than Fabiven would. AD carry, Sneaky, Apollo should have a decent showing. Just those two.
Not even gonna put. Well, yeah, I'll text Echo Fox.
Sorry. Smoothie and Hakuho. For support.
Alrighty. Well, I pretty much agree with everything you said there. I definitely want to keep Echo Fox at the top. If you have any Echo Fox players, start them because they're consistently giving the most points.
And then, I missed Jensen for mid lane. So Jensen, you want Jensen in mid for sure.
Well, all right. I think that concludes everything we have to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about, Kevin, or anything?
No, just. Okay. See what happens this weekend.
All right.
Should be good.
Hopefully we come out better than Jet and Mark.
Yeah, hopefully I just need to get up to 50% at least. All these upsets are killing me, and then the upsets that I pick aren't the ones that are happening. Need to get that on point.
So yeah, as always, guys, if there's anything that you see that we could improve on or things that you want to see, let us know. You can either comment on the YouTube below, or you can send us a message on Twitter, or anywhere actually. You know, they probably can send us messages on Twitch as well. But either way, let us know if there's anything we can make better, anything that you want us to do, and we will try to get to that as best as possible.
If you want to see a different segment or anything like that.
Yeah, different segment.
Feel free, we'll toss that in there.
Mm-hmm. We can do a segment where, you know, I pretend to throw a ball across my screen, and then Kevin pretends to catch it.
Ball. Shut up.
Kevin pretends to catch it, but he has to catch it right after I throw it so it looks real.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this stream, and we'll be doing the next one next week. Hey, I almost forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content, we'll be back for more next week.